Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Greetings to SEMS. And me, Bhadra, would like to start this knowledge session. So, we are actually in this session, we are going to discuss about sales, startup, and motivational talk. So, starting a sales driven business is both exciting and challenging. Success in sales requires resilience, adaptability, and a deep understanding of customer needs. A strong foundation that is built on market research, effective communication, and a customer centric approach can drive the growth and long term success. But setbacks and rejections are part of the journey. So, what sets successful sales professional apart is their mindset, ability to learn from the failure, stay motivated, and push forward. So, every no brings you to a closer yes. So, SEMS Welfare Foundation, a registered non-profit organization, is dedicated to the social impact across various sectors. We focus on education, particularly skill development and entrepreneurship. And through our initiative Digi Saksham, we have created training programs in IT, finance, retail, and entrepreneurship and impacted over 6,000 individuals. And we are currently upskilling inmates in Haryana jails as well, and also collaborating with the universities and colleges. We have also partnered with banks to place over 1,500 candidates in jobs. So, in just a short time, SEMS has established itself as a force for positive change, equipping individuals with the skills for employment and promoting women's leadership in various industries. And now it is an honor to introduce a visionary leader, Indrashish Chatterjee, a serial entrepreneur, a renowned sales trainer, and one of India's most inspiring motivational speakers, serving as the chairman of Indian Women and Youth Skills Foundation and also CEO of Bariza Software Solutions LLP. Indrashish, also known as IC, is a name synonymous with innovation, leadership, and business excellence. And with a deep understanding of marketing trends, consumer behavior, and business branding, IC has been instrumental in helping the startup scale and guiding them through branding, investment strategies, and angel funding opportunities. A meeting with him is an experience in itself, one that leaves you inspired, motivated, and armed with game changing business strategies. So, please join me in welcoming Indrashish Chatterjee, a leader, mentor, and the driving force behind countless success stories. So, Indrashish sir, over to you, sir. You can take over the session.
Thank you, Bhadra. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. And I want to. I'm really thankful for SEMS to give me the opportunity to interact with so many wonderful people out here. And I would love to take this opportunity to share with you all my experience and how exactly my journey has been, and how exactly sales and startup can actually go ahead and interrelate with each other, and how exactly after this session my entire goal will be that whoever is attending this session, they will be absolutely clear about the sales tactics, and how exactly if they are planning to start their first startup, they can do it properly. So, as Bhadra introduced, I am a sales trainer, I'm an entrepreneur. Now, why exactly an entrepreneur, or rather, I would rather say every entrepreneur needs to be a salesperson. Now, when we are starting our first venture, all right, we all know that when we are starting a first venture, we have our own passion. We want the first startup to be an unicorn. We want to get investors on board. We want to be millionaires. We want to buy luxury cars. We want to have properties. We want to travel the world. And ambition is a good thing, because that actually pushes you to take the first step towards your first startup. But again, for starting your first venture, there are a few skill sets which you need to go ahead and acquire, and sales is a vital part of it. Why? I'll tell you. Now, when we are going ahead and launching our first startup, it can be a service oriented startup, it can be a product oriented startup. You can be dealing with either services or products, or you can simply go ahead and focus on serving a particular part of the society. Whatever you are doing, the entire idea of letting others know about your existence or letting others know to take your product or services is a process which is termed as marketing, in the sense like you are letting others know that, okay, I have a particular a product and this is what exactly is existing in the market. But again, marketing is only 50% of the entire work. Why? Because it is not going to help you to grow the business until people come ahead and be part of your business or purchase your products or services. So at that part or at that point of time, sales come into the picture. Now, in order to understand the entire process, we have to understand what exactly is sales and what is the difference between sales and marketing. That's the first part. The sales is a process through which you are letting other people know that they should be purchasing, or rather they should be going ahead and buying your services and products, and they should go ahead and take those services and products in exchange of certain monetary transactions, or it can be in exchange of certain item as well. Like if we are considering, let's say nowadays, we all watch YouTube. We all watch YouTube videos, right? So there are a lot of content creators. Now you will see many content creators. They would be going ahead and promoting different products from different brands. So how exactly does that work? Not every product or brand, they approach the content creator and pay them for being promoted. They work on on a barter system. So the entire idea of sales is you are going ahead and offering a particular product in exchange of something. In the world of startup, that something is money. Now when we are talking about sales in particular, there are few things we need to keep in mind. Sales comes into picture after few background work. One of the main background work that you need to keep in mind prior to getting into sales is marketing. Now the basic difference between marketing and sales, what's that? Marketing is a process through which you let people know that you exist in the market. Like, for example, you are launching your first cafe or a restaurant, and you have certain specialization, certain dishes. You have got certain plans that, okay, every Friday night you'll have someone perform live in your cafe or a restaurant. Whatever you are planning, you let others know about what exactly is going to happen in your restaurant, and you let people know about that you are existing in the market. You can use various platforms to do that. Like, let's say, for example, nowadays social media is the main platform, like Facebook, Instagram. Most of the time we have seen in these platforms there are different ads coming up, right? I mean, we haven't followed a particular page, but still we are seeing those ads. So what's happening? A business owner is going online and is creating all those ads with graphics and videos and is boosting. And people who have that related interest, let's say, for example, I'm a foodie, I am actually going ahead and following different restaurants. So what happens is that that particular ad shows up in my timeline. And who knows, I might be interested, I might be going ahead and turning up. So that's a way of marketing. Marketing is a way of letting people know that, okay, here I am, you can come and visit me, or here is my product, you can purchase it. The difference between marketing and sales is here. Sales is not going ahead and giving an option to your potential customer that you can come or you can visit. Sales is a process where you are letting people know that, okay, this is the product, you take it. Now in the entire process, the customer can go ahead and say that, no, I'm not going to take it. They can go ahead and object regarding proceeding with that transaction. So we will discuss that part, was a later part of this session. But again, like now that we are starting the session, it's very important for us to understand the difference between marketing and sales, which I think it's quite clear. Now, if do you guys have any question related to the difference between the marketing and sales? I guess there's no question related to that, since there's no one is responding. All right, fine. So let's move towards the startup part. All right. Now, let's say I do see a few faces out here. Let's say Shivani. Shivani is planning to start her first startup. All right. She has a plan to go ahead and start, let's say, a boutique. And she wants to go ahead and create her own brand, reach potential customers, and generate business out of her first startup. So, what are the things which Shivani should be doing in order to ensure that her startup is a success? The first and foremost thing that she needs to do is that she needs to go ahead and find a place for her business. By saying that, I mean, let's say, for example, I'm starting a boutique and I do not have the right location where people can reach my shop. That can be one of the major cause why the entire business plan can fail. So that is where finding the proper location for your business is very important. So the first thing is that you need to find a proper place you can either purchase or take it on a rent. After that, you need to register the business. Registration of business, mainly it can be done in 3 to 4 ways. One, you can start a proprietorship business. Two, if you have a partner, you can start a partnership business. Three, you can go ahead and register your business and create a private limited company. And fourth one, I would rather put it under private limited only. Nowadays, I believe one person can also register a private limited company. So once you register your company, which I would suggest, if in future you're planning to go ahead and take in investment for growing the business, for scaling up, if you want to have investor on board, go for a private limited company. So once that part is done, you need to go ahead and do a bit of work related to marketing. What is your market, target market? Who are your target customer? So if let's say Shivani is planning to start a boutique, as I stated before. So her target market, it will be a B2C, business to customer market. So the entire business marketing strategy needs to be surrounding that particular area. So what are the things that she can do? She has to identify who are the target market, what is the competitor. She has to do competitor analysis, market analysis, and then needs to go ahead and see what exactly the competitors are doing to sell the product. So nowadays, if you are running a boutique, there are different, things that companies or the businesses do. Like, for example, the shop owners, they come online, they go live, and they sell their products. That is one of the primary thing that they are doing. So this is where Shivani can work on, where she can create a loyal database of customer, where she can go online, show different products, and she can do it on a regular basis on a particular time, so that people who are interested in purchasing the products in the boutique, they know that, okay, it's 5 o'clock in the evening. That means she's going to come online and showcase her products, and maybe we will like the particular product and we'll order it. So that can be the first step towards it. Then slowly she can develop a website. She can create an e-commerce platform. She can utilize different marketing strategies, online and offline. Online in the sense like promotion in on social media, Google, create small advertisements on YouTube. Offline as in like using flyers, stickers, distributing pamphlets. So different things that can be done in terms of marketing to reach out the potential customer group, so that they get to know that, okay, this business is existing, and we need to go, or rather, if I have certain requirements, we can certainly go ahead and check out this place. Obviously, the entire journey of business doesn't end here. I mean, we can go ahead and generate a lot of leads by following these procedures. But again, business or a startup is a particular journey where you need to come up with different strategies, which where you'll get an idea, or rather you'll continuously start, or rather you'll continuously evolve yourself so that you can attract more customers. So you need to introduce different offers, loyalty programs, depending on the current situation your business is going through. So you will be the first person who will understand where exactly you are standing. The most important part for ensuring your startup is a success is managing the finance. Money is the vital part. When you are running a business, whether it's a startup or a regular business, if you are burning your cash, that means you are actually pushing yourself towards what should I say, towards shutting down the startup. What the reason why more than startups being created on today's date, startups are being closed, is because the founders do not know how to manage the finance. If they have a total capital of, let's say, 1 lakh, they're investing more than that in the business. As a result, if the revenue is not generating, they have to shut down the business the next month itself. So you need to go ahead and understand where exactly you're standing and how exactly you are planning to figure out the sales. You need to network with people. You need to understand what are the different strategies that is working for your competitors that you can apply, because most of the times where the startup founders fail is they focus too much on having an investor on board. They do not depend on themselves. And the investors refuse to get on board because what happens is an investor, now being an angel investor, I'm sure I'm speaking for multiple investors who are out there. We go ahead and see if an individual startup founder, he himself is not ready to invest on his business, why exactly will I go ahead and invest on that person's business? You need to be 100% sure about your own venture, your own dream. I might not understand, let's say, if you are planning to start your own candle shop, I am not well aware of it. You are well aware of it, so you must have certain strategy in place, you must have certain ideas, so you will be going ahead and investing on it at first and looking at the figures, the revenue that is being generated. I might be interested. Now we all are watching, I'm sure we all have watched Shark Tank, both on the international platform, also in India. Now one of the vital part which you can learn from that show is that you need to be on top of your figure, because what happens when an investor, when you're planning to get an investor on board, they will not go ahead and check how big is your showroom or what are the things you're doing. They will simply ask, let's get on the figures, where you're standing, how much is the investment, how much is the return, and what exactly you are expecting in the next financial year. What is are you running the business on loss, or are you running the business on profit? They'll get into the figures and they'll get into the nitty gritties. If you have the figures and accounts in place, you will have the chance, you'll stand the chance in front of the investor to get the investment on board. Now we are talking about investment, we are talking about figures. So here comes the most important part that I was telling a few minutes ago. The most important part is accounting for a business. You need to do proper accounting. You need to know where exactly your sales are standing, how much you have invested, how much money you will be investing on marketing, sales, how much money you are planning to invest on overheads. So you need to have everything figured out when you're running a business. Otherwise, you'll be simply going ahead and creating a situation where your startup will be closing down pretty soon, even before you realize. Now, once you have everything in place, you need to understand one thing, that is, our world is evolving every day. Now, in terms of policies and political condition, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking evolvement in terms of technology. We have AIs being introduced, and many businesses are using AI to grow to the next level. You need to leverage the positive side of the AI. And if you are well aware of it, then you would be going ahead and generating businesses by going ahead and focusing on the work all by yourself. That means you need not appoint any expert to do your work. You can do it yourself and you can try it. So you can work on cost cutting as well. Let's say, for example, I have 10 rupees in my bank account, out of which every month I'm paying 2 rupees to, let's say, my employees, 4 for rent, remaining 3 for my digital marketing aspects. So if I learn how to go about it, so I can save those 3 rupees. In the long run, as the business scales up, obviously you will need to have someone on board. But I'm talking about those who are planning to start the venture, the first startup. So what I suggest most of the startups who are approaching me is that try to do maximum work all by yourself. If you know the work that's there in your firm, if you know everything by yourself, let's say you know how to make a sale, you know how to do marketing, what happens in the long run when the business grows, you can easily go ahead and monitor people. But again, from the very beginning, if you're depending on an expert for getting the work done, in the long run, if that expert quits your company for a better opportunity, you will be nowhere. You will be seeing yourself looking for someone else to replace that position. And who knows, the other person who is planning to replace that position will be taking twice as much amount that person was charging you for getting the work done. That might simply affect you. And on top of that, there will be a time lapse from let's say, for example, a person left in the month of February and you find a suitable candidate in the month of April. So there will be a time lapse in between. You might be facing the heat. So you need to know what exactly needs to be done so that even if an employee or an expert quits your business in the long run, you can take care of it. Your business doesn't face the burn. As simple as that. Now, whatever we have discussed so far, we are quite clear that's how exactly we need to go ahead and form our first startup. What are the things which are important for the startup? And what are the key aspects that we need to keep in mind when we are creating a startup? Now, what I'm going to discuss about is having an investor on board. The part that I already discussed a few minutes ago, but I did not focus much on it. Now, when you are starting your first venture, most of the time the founders whom I meet, I find these young people, they are so much passionate about their product and services that they do not understand few basics. They have the products and services ready. Let's say you have everything in place and you are generating the business for yourself. At that point of time, they approach investors like whenever whoever they get in front of them. That means, let's say I got a call a few months ago. I got a call from a young guy who was running a business mostly on, let's say, they are planning to launch a rocket. They want to work with NASA, and they call me up for an investment amount of, I'm not going to disclose the investment amount, but they wanted an X amount to be invested in their startup. They had everything in place in terms of paperwork. The accounts were clear. Everything was there. My question to them was that everything looks fine. And even if I give X amount to you, I cannot bring anything other than money on table for you guys. Anything, I cannot bring anything other than that. That means you're not going to benefit anything out of me except for the money. And that is where these startups lack. You need to ensure that you do not need to approach any and every investor out there. I am a person who invests mostly on tech startup, not on rocket building rocket and all those stuffs, astronaut related stuff, because I know that's not my subject. That's not what I understand. If a person is running a tech startup, the person who approaches me, I can actually contribute. I can share my contacts. I can share my experience. I can help that startup to grow. But if the nature of the business is different, I cannot contribute to that business other than giving my money. So you need to ensure whoever you are approaching for joining your business as an investor, that person should play a vital role in terms of mentoring the business as well. That person should bring value on table other than money. Money you'll get from anywhere. If you're running a business sincerely, if you wait for a few days, you can also get money from the bank. But again, you need to get someone on board who has that experience, who can take your business to the next level. Because if you are running your startup, everything is working fine. Your next thing will be how exactly you can scale up the startup, how exactly you can grow. So you need to have investors on board who can help you to do that. And those who are not adding value to your startup, just move away and look for someone who has that kind of skill set that can join your startup. So be very selective about those whom you are going to add in your business. I'll share with you one particular story which will give you a better idea. This is not a story, this is a real life event. So we all know Apple, right? We all use Apple product. It's a brand nowadays. The Apple was one of the founding member we know is Steve Jobs, right? So what happened? Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak were these were the two people who went ahead and formed this company, Apple, named the company as Apple, and they started launching different products. Now, when they were actually going ahead and doing that, the business was growing. Steve Jobs was eager to have investors on board, and he got few investors who, in the long run, did go ahead and create a situation for which Steve Jobs was asked to leave from the company which he created. So you need to be 110% sure about the people whom you are introducing in your company. It shouldn't be that you have formed a company, you've worked hard, and you are asked to leave just because the percentage of share the investor has on the company is more than that what you have. Now coming to the part, now we have talked a lot about startup. Let's get back to sales a bit. a bit. Now, sales, as I told you very like at the very beginning of this session, sales is a part where we are going ahead and asking people to purchase the products and services of our company, whatever product or whatever services that we are going ahead and offering. Now, one of the vital part when we are talking about sales is you need to understand your customer. Now, when I'm talking about understanding your customer, that means, let's say, if a person is walking up to you, let's say you're running a shop, all right, and a person walks into your shop, you're running let's say you have a retail shop, you have, let's say, you're selling t-shirts, or you're selling different garments. A customer walks into your shop, checks out different items. The first thing that you need to do is there are a few basic steps you need to follow. That is, number one, you need to go ahead and create the rapport with the customer from the very first moment. The moment I see a customer, for example, I meet a person, I go ahead and introduce myself. I need to ensure that I have a proper rapport with that. And how to do that? In just few, let's say in 2 seconds, 3 seconds, just with a smile, and by just by asking how exactly you're doing, how are you? Is there anything I can assist you today? So small things like this, smile, and just asking that how exactly I can be at your help. Can I assist you with something? These are the small things that can help a salesperson to create the first rapport with the customer. Now, if the customer says that no, I'm fine, I'll check it out myself, you know that you need to give space to that customer, right? And you take one step backward and you let the customer go ahead and check out different products. Now, if the customer says that, you know what, I'm looking for X product, this kind of design for this particular event, then you know that this is why exactly the customer has come into the store, and this is what exactly the customer is looking for. Let me get into the business. So the first thing is building rapport. Second is do a proper need analysis. Now, when we're talking about need analysis, what exactly do we mean? That means you need to understand your customer, what exactly the customer is looking for. Let's say I want to go ahead and attend a reception. Now, like Feb is the month of marriage in India, right? Everyone is getting married here and there. Whenever we are opening the Facebook timeline, we are seeing everybody, like, there's marriages happening. All our friends are getting married. Now, let's say we are going to attend a reception of a friend. Now, you go to a particular garment shop. The person comes up, very nice person, says that, okay, how can I help you? And you clearly say that, you know what, I'm planning to attend the reception of my friend, so I'm looking forward to purchase a new attire for that. So what exactly the customer, I'm sorry, the salesperson does is that, so sir, are you planning to wear something, on Western or on Eastern? That means, like, are you planning to wear a blazer, suit, or you're planning to wear sherwani, or some kurta, some Eastern wears? So in that way, you need to go ahead and ask questions which will help you to understand the requirement of your customer in a better way. Because if I am not going ahead and providing the right product to the right customer, the customer is not going to say yes. You have gone to a shop to buy a toffee, and the person is giving you, let's say, a bubble gum. You're not going to be happy with it. You're not going to buy. Obviously, there are other shops. You'll be going ahead and referring to other shops to find that toffee. So you need to do a proper need analysis to offer the right product to the right customer. Now, once you go ahead and do the need analysis, the third thing comes into the picture is your product knowledge. That means the product and services you are dealing with, how well you are aware of it. For example, since we are talking about a garment shop throughout, let us focus on that only. For example, you go ahead and produce, okay, you are looking for an Eastern wear, you can check this out. It will make you feel comfortable. The cotton is really soft. It will not make you feel uncomfortable throughout the wedding, because there'll be a lot of people, and you can pitch accordingly. So the awareness about the product and how exactly that particular product can benefit the customer, because obviously when a customer is approaching a particular salesperson, the customer knows where exactly something he wants to buy, but he doesn't know what exactly he needs to buy. So that is where the need analysis comes into the picture and the product knowledge comes into the picture. That is one of the main reason why you will see most of the ladies who are attending this session will be able to go ahead and relate to it, that you go to a cosmetic store planning that, okay, I'll be purchasing a red color lipstick, I'll be getting this, I'll be getting that. When you reach the store, you purchase stuff, and when you're getting out, you go back, see that, you know what, I plan to purchase a red colored lipstick, but I'm carrying a maroon colored lipstick right now. That's where the sales happen, because the person who is in the sales counter made you feel at that point of time that, this maroon color lipstick will look better on you than the red color lipstick, or did something which made you feel that, okay, this particular product is better than the other one. So this is where the sales, product knowledge, all these things come into the picture. The next point is, if the customer is looking forward to, what should I say, is listen to the pitch and everything and says that, okay, I am not interested. All right, says really straight on your face, I'm not in. At that point of time, you can either go for a rebuttal, or you can try to understand the customer, why exactly is he or she not interested. Now, it's better, I suggest, try to understand your customer, what exactly is stopping the customer from taking the buying decision. Now, once you understand that, it will be easier for you to go ahead and take the rebuttal to the next level. So, let's say a person is saying that, you know what, I am not interested because I need to talk to my customer. I need to talk to my wife before taking a buying decision. Possibly the customer doesn't trust you. So, the trust issue is there. So, you go ahead and tell that, yeah, I understand you have a trust issue. You cannot take a buying call right now. Let me go ahead and offer something to you so that you can, or rather, you can pitch, you can talk to the customer in certain ways so that you can buy that trust from the customer. Now, what happens if the customer is still saying no? Give him that space and let him go. Respect the decision. Do not push the customer, because then whenever you're pushing the customer, it's going to create a bad impact on the customer. And in the end of the day, we do not want a customer to go ahead and put a bad review against our business name, considering we are running a startup. And this is the world where each and everyone buys products or visits any places. They go ahead and check out the reviews online, that, okay, I do not know this particular cafe, I don't know what kind of food they serve, let me check out the testimonials and reviews on Google, what exactly people are saying. If we have two ratings out there, we will look for another cafe. If we have good rating out there, let's say 4.4, 4.5, we can still consider, we can go and visit, we can check it out. So on today's date, the Gen Z, the millennials, they love to go ahead and stay aware of what exactly they are going to face in advance. And that is where you need to go ahead and work on, in order to ensure that your customers, they leave good reviews against your business name and not the bad reviews. So these are the few points you need to keep in mind. And whenever you are making the sale, note down the customer details. That means, let's say, I got a sale from Mr. A. I note down the customer details. So let's say you're running a cafe. All right. Let's put it in this way. Let's discuss another situation. You're running a cafe. You have, let's say, Mr. A and family visiting your cafe, and you note down the customer details, and everything is there in your data, that, okay, on this date, Mr. A and family visited, the total billing is 1000 rupees, 1000 INR. This is the things which has been ordered. Now, if you go ahead and keep a track of, so you are acquiring a data of a particular customer. Now, in days ahead, when you go ahead and see Mr. A is not visiting your cafe again, you can have your team contact Mr. A and share a particular discount that you can design only for those customers who have visited you once and did not come back to you again. Some lucrative discounted offer which can bring the customer back in your cafe. And if you are seeing Mr. A is visiting your cafe again and again on a repeated basis, you know this person is a loyal customer visiting your cafe. So you need to go ahead and create certain reward for the loyal customers so that they feel motivated about coming back to your cafe again and again. Because, every business, whether it's a cafe, or it's an IT, or it's a boutique. It's highly competitive business. There are so many cafes out there. So in that case, what you need to do is that introduce a loyalty program where you mention that every time you'll be purchasing X amount of billing, you'll be getting a certain point which will be stored, so that from the next billing onwards, you'll get X amount of discounts availed on your bills. So you can plan it out accordingly, what exactly you need to offer. So customer database is very important. You need to maintain it, and you need to ensure that you do not misuse it. The customer database can help you to grow your business, but again, if it's mishandled, it can also create a negative impact, because there are many customers who will not like to be contacted over WhatsApp. There are many customers who will not be comfortable sharing their information. But again, you need to understand your customer and take it to the next level. So, with that, we understood how exactly we can relate sales and the startup. See, the entire idea, whenever I meet an individual startup founder, I find that person really passionate and really excited about the venture, the first venture. But again, after one or two meets, I find that passion dying out, because maybe the result or the market condition gets things get a bit challenging for the founder. In that case, what I would say, if you are a startup founder, with all the things that I shared, you need the one most important ingredient in you. That is, you need to be very patient and you need to persevere. You need to persevere, because if you are going ahead and staying focused, if not today, but tomorrow, your startup is going to nail it. But again, if you go ahead and you feel impatient, then the startup is not going to last long. Keep one thing in mind, that you do not lose the game of startup until you quit. You can face loss, but if you go ahead and decide to fight it, you will come back. But again, if you quit, it's very difficult to get back, because you have already decided that you'll not continue with it. So quitting is not the game. And for me, I have been running my business for more than a decade. I started when I was 24, and I am the first generation businessman, in the sense like I was working for a big corporate, and then I decided to go ahead and leave the job, quit the job, and invest all my salary following my passion. So I would say that I did not take it. The Rome was not built in a day. I did not become IC or founder of so many ventures in one day. I took one day at a time and I worked on it. So I have seen days where customers told me that, okay, I'm not going to take the product. Again, I've seen days where customers say that I'm the best service provider. Do not take, rejections by heart, and don't let success get into your head. I know we have heard this saying so many times, but again, this is true. I mean, if you are grounded, if you know what you're doing, if you are honest to your work, that is very important. If you know that you're being honest, give your 110% and let the universe, or let whatever is happening around you, take you to the next level. So I can assure you, your journey will take you to the positive direction if you are focused and if you have faith in your dream, and if you're passionate about your venture. So with that, Bhadra, any questions that this session, you can go ahead and shoot that. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, sir. And participants, you can ask your queries and questions to sir.
One question I want to ask.
Yes, sir.
You said about how to create loyal customers. You
Uh-huh.
can run loyalty programs.
Correct.
What can be what type of loyalty programs can be there?
Very good question, Mr. Gyansham Das, right? Okay. See, loyalty programs, it depends on the kind of business you're running. All right. I'll give you an idea. Let's say if you are running a cafe, all right, and you have a customer who is repeatedly visiting your cafe. Now, what happens is that you go ahead and create a program through which, let's say, for every billing of, let's say, 200 rupees, or 500 rupees, you make it a point that there's like 10% discount or 5% discount or 20% discount. You create a threshold and put a discount amount. I'm just giving you an instance. There can be many things that can be done. I'm just giving an idea. So what happens is that, let's say I visit your cafe quite often. Every time I visit, I give you a billing of 500 rupees. So 20% is the loyalty program point. So every time I give you a billing of 500 rupees, so discount is 20% on 500 rupees, which is whenever the billing is coming, you're letting the person know, sir, you have a discount of 20% from the last time billing as a loyalty program. So this is the amount. So the total billing amount is 500. So you deduct 20% from it. You do a calculation and you do the billing and you provide it to him. So the customer, even if it's, let's say, $30 for, sorry, not dollars, 30 rupees, 40 rupees, 50 rupees, whatever is the amount, the customer gets a good feel that, okay, I saved this amount. Because see, we Indians, and it's not about Indians, I think it's generic about people, that, we love saving money. We love, even if we are saving 1 rupee, it's a lot of thing for us. We feel happy. No matter how much money is there in our bank account, it doesn't really matter. The moment we save 10, even if we save 10 rupees, we go ahead and tell our partner or a friend, I saved 10 rupees out here. So that is something, it works on psychology, and the person will come back. They feel that, okay, the feel good factor would be there, right? I hope I've
Right,
answered your
right,
question.
right, sir. Right, right.
Right. Okay. Any other question? No other questions? Bhadra, you have any question?
Actually, sir, I wanted to ask, like, if we are starting any type of social type of venture, like a business for the society.
Uh-huh.
So, in that sense, like, what should be the things that we should take care of, and how can we actually start that? Because I have an idea of starting a venture like that.
Okay, good question. So, see, first of all, you need to understand that when you are actually planning to create a social venture, you can either form a society, okay? The body that you'll be forming, either it will be a society or it will be a foundation. So, you need to go ahead and finalize that. And after that, let's say you have a certain kind of, goal that you are planning to go ahead and achieve. Let's say children education, or let's say women empowerment. So keeping those things in mind, you create the mission and vision of your entire society, or the entire venture. And then you approach those people who are working on those platforms. That means those who have the expertise on, let's say, child education, or who have worked on women empowerment project, and you offer them a particular position in your venture. Maybe someone who will be coming on board and will be working with you as a person who is going to give suggestions, or someone who will be a part of the board, who will be a board member. Based on that, you will be going ahead and having people who are experienced, and then you need to create project. Because see, if you are running a social venture related like venture, you will be either earning through CSR, that is corporate social responsibility projects from leading companies, MNCs, and all, or you would be going ahead and creating your own projects and approaching for donations. So you need to finalize that. If you are planning to go for CSR, you need to have certain, again, further paperwork. Like I believe 80G certification is required, 12A certification is required, a lot of certification. Then you are planning to get foreign funding, you need to have FCRA in place, which you need to renew every year. So you need to get all the paperwork ready. Plus, you need to show certain work. So create small projects, work on that. But again, if you ask me in terms of revenue generation, how exactly it gets difficult for you to generate revenue initially, until you have the paperwork ready, until you're getting the first CSR project. There are two things you can do. You can directly create a project, run a social media campaign, ask your friends, known people to help. The second thing that you can do is that you can tie up with an established foundation and you can work with them. They can, because an established foundation have lots of projects with them, and not every time they can go ahead and live up to that. They can go ahead and forward certain projects. They can get it done through you. So you can work with an established organization to start, and then when you have that portfolio, you will be somewhere, and continuously promote, show people that what you're doing, the entire journey, that okay, I have been doing this. I'll give you an idea. My foundation, Indian Women and Youth Skill Foundation, so basically the sector where I focus on, so my mother is also part of the organization, and she looks into the women empowerment part. I am more inclined towards child education, children education. So mainly what we work on is, initially we used to work with established organizations, or rather established NGOs. They used to outsource their work to us, and we used to get them done. Obviously, the agreement was as such that we could use our banner along. Obviously, they would be using their banners as well. But again, those things we get photographed, because the main work is being done by us. We get it photographed, we use it in social media, on the website, to create that credibility in the market. So take one step at a time, it will happen. Okay. I hope I've answered your query.
Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other question, anyone? I believe I'm a very good trainer. No question.
No, one more question, please.
Yes, please.
There are certain portfolios analysis, say like cash cow, dog business, and very exciting business. What type of portfolio these startups are there?
I'm sorry, I
Are
didn't get you. Yeah, go ahead.
there are certain portfolios management, say cash cow,
Uh-huh.
or flourishing businesses where you invest and get result after say 10 years, 15 years. R&D business, we get lot of
Uh-huh.
money after 10 years, 15 years if something research. So
Uh-huh.
these type of businesses are having four types of portfolios. So where this startup, which type of portfolio is the startup?
That means you're asking that which kind of portfolio you should be investing on. Is that your question?
No, normally the startup, which portfolio they belongs to normally.
See, if well, I'm not sure whether I understood your question properly, Mr. Das, but as far as what I understood, the startups do
Now,
not have any particular.
can we open the startup for a R&D business, or can we open a startup for a just running a shop, or can we uh, 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 open a startup for a business which will have no result, no profit? There are so many portfolios,
See, to answer your question, you can always create a startup for any business. All right, to be very honest, for anything that you are looking forward to get established with. Let's say you are running a grocery shop. Even you can term it as a startup if you use a bit of technology in it. We know Big Basket how exactly it's doing. We know grofers, right? So if you use technology, if you use proper tactics, you can actually coin yourself as a startup if you have those things in place. Now, if you are going ahead and saying if startup it in itself is a particular category, no, I don't think so. I am not 100% well aware of it, but if you ask me, as per my knowledge goes, it is not so. Startup is a term coined for all those ventures who are starting up. So an IT can also a company representing an ITITES can be a startup. A company which is into small scale manufacturing, even that can be a startup. But again, just because it's a startup, both ITES and manufacturing, the business nature cannot be the same thing. So it will fall under different business category. If that is your question, if I'm whatever I've understood, I'm not sure whether
Uh,
it was your question or
Actually,
not.
I understood in the beginning that some if there is some innovative idea
Uh
and
huh.
that idea can be converted into the product.
Uh huh.
So and somebody is ready to invest
Uh
for
huh.
that product. So
Uh huh.
this is called the startup, not a simple business. A cloth business, selling business is a startup.
No, 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 nothing like that. Every business, let's say, for example, I'll give you an idea. All right. Let's say you do not have any product. All right. On today's date, let's say you're running kirana shop, a small kirana shop. All right. Let's put it in this way, and you are actually making profit of, let's say, 10,000, 20,000 rupees every month. Now, if you want, this kirana shop is generally termed coined as business, right? But when you are actually using that particular the shop that you are there, when you are introducing the entire business model, you are actually changing into where you're reaching out to more people, having you're introducing technology in it. Let's say you create a particular app or a website through which you want people to purchase products online, and you will be delivering the product. Today, you tell me, sir, would you be calling when Blinkit was formed or when Grofers was formed? Obviously, it got investment because it was coined as a startup, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
What was the business? It was they were actually acquiring all the products from the kiranas and was storing in the wholesale place in a particular place, and they were actually gaining all the products at a wholesale price. They are putting it in the warehouse. Whenever the order is coming through technology, they have people going ahead and delivering it. That is what it was. And this entire journey, initially they faced problem because before the warehouse was introduced, the grofers, I believe it's grofers, pardon me if I'm mistaken the name of the brand, they were actually taking the products from the nearest kirana shop only and delivering it to people. So it is the entire idea is how exactly you are leveraging the technology. So today, if you have an idea, let's say a unique product, you can use technology, you can use investment. That's also a startup. If you have a ready-made business running and you change the business model, you utilize technology, you go ahead and create a particular business model where the revenue amount will be higher. You will be catering to a larger market. Even that can be considered as a startup.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir. Actually, you have given a good word, leveraging the technology.
Exactly. That is what needs to be done.
Thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. All right. I hope this session was a good one.
Yes.
And it's a real pleasure interacting with all of you out here. All right.
Yes, thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. So thank you, sir. And we have heard his session, and on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to sincerely thank Indrashish sir, our outstanding speaker today. And we had the chance to hear a very fascinating and thought-provoking conversation about how to start a sales startup, and also some kind of motivation regarding sales startup and other factors. So thank you so much, sir. And through his remarkable ability to convey information, he has left us with insightful discoveries and motivational concepts. We appreciate the effort and time he put into organizing this program.